This morning we turned to Parshat Tzav, and the opening word of Tzav is Tzav, which means command, right? It's like the word for mitzvot. We're turning in your books to page 613. Oh my gosh, seriously? They started Parshat Tzav on page 613. What is 613 in Gematria, everybody? Right? It's like it's the number of the mitzvot, and Tzav is command, mitzvah, right? Mitzvah, the commandments. And so I think that's terrific, actually. I think that's wonderful. Rashi tells us why it's Tzav, right? Like there's so many commandments. Well, Rashi tells us that it's because God's saying to Moshe, tell the people to be like extra zrizut mitzvot, like extra alacrity with the mitzvah, extra like enthusiasm for this one, which is strange because we're in the middle of this stretch of Leviticus, which is full of the rules of the korbanot, of the sacrificial offerings of the temple, which was what the Leviticus is all about. For those of us who read along, our eyes start to glaze over. They all kind of sound alike, all the korbanot, all the offerings, all the animal this, and the incense that, right? It sort of doesn't, but if you're paying close attention, what we're getting this morning is actually a break from the regular scheduled program. This morning we're actually starting off with the Trumat Hadeshen, which is sort of like the garbage cleanup moment, right? If you're offering up sacrifices and animals and oil and all kinds of foodstuffs on the altar every single day, what do you get a lot of? You get a lot of ashes. And all of that needs to get cleaned up. And so what we're getting is the cleanup protocol of how to remove the ashes and the garbage, as it were, each day, sort of fitting for the Shabbat before Pesach. Rabbi Salkin will be our speaker, and he'll give us a Shabbat Hagadol. This is the Shabbat before Passover, and there's a custom of having like a big sermon, a big something about Pesach. But what I wanted to say was I feel like the details of the cleanup process, which is what we're starting to read about this morning, is really speaking to each of us, because we're in this moment where we're supposed to be doing, we're invited to be doing our spring cleaning. Some of us turn over our entire kitchens and have a whole different set of ways of keeping kosher for the holiday. For others, it's more of a spring cleaning moment where tradition says, go clean out all the crumbs, make sure you've wiped down your counters, make sure you've gone into the pantry to find the dregs of the 10 for $1 boxes of pasta from 8 months ago, and they were disgusting, so they're now sitting in the back, and check all the expiration dates of everything, like the crackers, the crumbs, everything, that like the bottom of the bag of the thing in the back. Now is the time of year that we clean all of that out. And I think that is what is actually going on in Parshat Tzav, a reminder that all of that is actually very holy. So I will close with a story. Those of you who know me know that in January I went to a meditation retreat, a Buddhist retreat. It was 5 days in silence, and we sat on our cushions with some walking meditation in between from 5:55 a.m. until 9 p.m. at night. And we took breaks for silent meals, but that was it, except for 1 hour each morning when they brought us up in our silence, in our meditation, to continue our meditation practice. But what did they have us doing? Cleaning. So they handed you a mop or a toilet scrub brush. I cleaned the toilets at the facility where we were staying, because that was part of the practice, was can you stay in your meditative state and feel like you are serving and doing the inner work you're here to do while you're doing this task that you didn't want to be doing, the cleaning service, right? My husband said that's the best business model he's ever heard for a retreat, by the way, right? Hand them all the custodial stuff. But I think the point is that can this be our service, right? As we gear up for Pesach, can the cleaning, can the spring cleanup, all of that, can that be part of the way we serve God, which is what Parshat Tzav is inviting us to do. With no further ado, page 613, and now Rabbi Lisa will come find her spot.
Actually, I think I know where we are.